eating and drinking, it's such a part of a lifestyle, right? Like we don't just buy a house, we buy a home. And with that, we buy a community.
All right, guys, in this video, we're going to talk about Echo Park versus Los Feliz versus Silver Lake and the neighborhoods compared. We're going to compare them with Angela, our guest today. Angela, thanks so much for being with us. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thanks for having me. My name is Angela Carrasco, and I mostly work in Mila area, so Northeast Los Angeles. And like we're saying today, Los Feliz, Silver Lake, Echo Park, Highland Park, all the parks, I'm here for you guys.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm excited to talk about this because this is at the heart of LA. So
I might get canceled. We might get some hate mail. It's totally fine. I'm here for it.
Oh yeah, no, it's like when I think of LA, I think about this part. It's like very deep within LA, so it's very I feel like as you go closer and closer, the culture kind of you kind of start seeing more and more of it. So it's really funny. So I'm stoked to talk about this. I'm a fan of the areas. They're pretty cool and stuff. So
I feel like that area, to your point, is still holding on to the authenticity of LA in a very proud way. So yeah.
Cool. Well, let's dive into it. So let's talk about Echo Park, the culture and just the feel. Give it to us.
And I'm glad we started with Echo Park. This is a perfect segue into talking about LA and having LA pride. As you know, Echo Park is super close to the Dodger Stadium, right? So whenever you think Echo Park, you think walking to get the hot dog and then going to the park and then going to the bar surrounding it. It's a very, very I love LA crowd.
Yeah.
It's a funny mix of young people that are moving into the Northeast LA and kind of building into buying a home, into living in a fun, walkable area, but also those folks that have been in LA, that are LA natives and that have owned their homes for over 50 years. So it's like a really fun mix of those two people. And in terms of things to do, Dodger Stadium. I mean, come on. It's like walking distance from Echo Park. You can go to Echo Park Lake, which as of recently has gone through so many renovations and it is stunning. They have these swan boats you can get on and have a nice date night or date day, and have really fun time. There's tons of great places to eat and walk around. Mohawk's Bend is a good vegan friendly place where you can go get a drink. Thirsty Crow. I mean, there's so many great places in Echo Park. Again, very walkable. It's the place where the younger generation, the younger crowd of the Mila area definitely likes to live.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because it didn't always used to be like that. It's
It's funny, anyone that's an LA native or that's been in LA for 20 years plus can tell you that you couldn't walk around. It was a pretty dangerous area. And even they say it in a funny way, where it's these people are kind of having a good time and safely strolling down Echo Park, but it was never that way. So definitely let's give respect where respect is due. Those people that have been there for the long run and really have made that neighborhood the authentic LA neighborhood that it is to this day.
Yeah. I know it is funny how it's no, it's safe now, to walk around. It's you're good now. Because it's just that. Yeah, which is, I think, moving in a positive direction. It's always nice when you feel safe and stuff. So that's cool.
That's a double edge of gentrification, right? We don't really want to talk about it, but that's the double edge of gentrification. Yes, things get more expensive, but it gets safer as a result. Everything gets more expensive, of course, but that's something that we can all agree on, that it's a good positive thing that it gets safer.
Yeah. And so let's talk about more of the home styles for Echo Park. So what are if people are looking for homes in there, what's kind of the different styles?
The craftsman houses are definitely the ones that are the leading styles in that area, especially the Angelino Heights area, which is at the very tip end of Echo Park. Stunning Victorian style homes as well, in the craftsman style, but just bigger. And the lovely thing is that people that have moved into those houses, even as of recently, are maintaining that style because they understand that it's such authentic part of LA, especially that area, that they would like to keep it that way. And I think it's a very beautiful thing to do, but definitely craftsman style. It's the leading style in that area.
Yeah, personal favorite of mine.
Yeah,
I'm a fan.
Low ceilings though, so you got to be careful. They're really tall people.
In terms of Echo Park, are there historic districts or areas or anything like that?
The Angelino Heights district it's a pretty historic one. It's funny you would ask. Some of the houses there have been there for over 100, 120 years, and so there are legislations that don't let you greatly change the outside specifically, so that it can keep that authentic craftsman style home. Yeah, and I'm glad that we definitely do that. There's places in Hollywood that have the same thing, the historic designations, in which they have little plaques. So you can see little plaques around those houses, especially if they're over 100 years old. And there is local legislation that prevents people from gravely changing the structural integrity of the home for good reasons.
Yeah. It kind of comes with the territory if you buy a historic house.
Yeah, I mean, and there's also programs that help with taxes. Actually, there are some programs that if you buy a house in a designated historic area, you get tax incentives if someday you want to fix it up and keep the integrity. So there's good things to know for that as well.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. Fun fact. Okay. Let's go into Los Feliz. So so we'll talk about again just the feel. I'm not super familiar with that area. So what's
I feel like most people are not super familiar with Los Feliz, but they've been there, know exactly where it is. They just don't know the name of it. So,
or they don't know that they've been there, maybe.
They don't know they've been there. But if you've been hiking in LA, you've definitely been to Los Feliz. The Griffith Observatory is the #1 landmark, I guess, in the area, right? So you go up the Griffith, there's like 10,000 paths and trails to get up there. Most people have hiked it at some point. If you've gone through the Hollywood sign, same thing. It's all Griffith, it's all Los Feliz. The zoo, right? Like the very famous
the LA Zoo?
The LA
Is that nearby the LA Zoo, or is that more by Echo Park?
No. So Griffith takes all over. It goes into Glendale as well. It might cross over Echo Park a little bit, but the big bulk of it is Los Feliz. Okay. So when you think Griffith Park and Observatory, you think Los Feliz. And in terms of homes, you kind of graduate to Los Feliz, right?
Dang, watch out. Okay.
It's stroller town. It's for a lot of the celebrities. A lot of your favorite celebrities live there. Angelina, Brad Pitt, Ben Affleck has a house. I mean, you name it, they all have a house. In Los Feliz, specifically Los Feliz Estate, which is a guarded area that only has, I do believe it's 21 homes. And all those homes have private streets. Streets do not exist outside of that private compound. So really, really posh area to live in. Beautiful, beautiful green streets that you can walk in. In terms of styles of homes, it's a little bit between Spanish homes, traditional Spanish mostly, and then a little bit MCM, which is the mid-century modern, but mostly Spanish traditional. If you understand also graduating to that area, you would understand that also Spanish homes are kind of something you graduate to in life.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I guess like when in Calabasas, it was a lot of like very much like Spanish style homes, and I was like, oh, that's cool. It's nice.
It's like mega houses in
Calabasas.
Oh yeah. Calabasas are not shy about the houses they have. They're just like, here, look at us. They're huge. Exactly. In Los Feliz, yes, you do get 3,000-4,000 square feet homes, 5,000-6,000 maybe, but nothing extravagant, right? Like that's not where the attention to detail is. The attention to detail in the homes of Los Feliz is like well-crafted homes that have been there forever. Beautiful views, right? So like it's funny because there's a saying that millionaires have views and billionaires have compounds. There's millionaires in Los Feliz and they have a view. They love their view. One good thing, and we'll get to Silver Lake, but you also graduate from Silver Lake to Los Feliz. So a lot of clients that I have move out of Silver Lake because they cannot have a pool, because most of the areas in Silver Lake are hillside. Los Feliz is a lot more solid. It's a lot more flat. So you are even there. Obviously, there are hills, but not as big, and you are able to build a pool or have a pool, which is a nice to have on this side of town.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, let's dive into Silver Lake. So
let me mention some of the great places to go to.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I totally forgot.
I will remind you, because I'm an eater and I'm a drinker, so I will tell you guys. Bar Cobel, if you like wine and you don't know how to find wine or how to choose wine, we all want to be smart and talk about the tenants and the wine and all this kind of stuff. Hovel is a great place to go. You go in, they don't have a menu. They ask you how you feel that day. They ask you a few questions and you answer, and they give you the perfect glass of wine every time. Also, Little Dom's is one of my favorites, a really old Italian restaurant that is on Hill Coast. Delicious. Definitely have the rice bowls, one of the best. So there's tons of if you're looking for a date place, it's Los Feliz for you. Atrium is a new restaurant that just opened. It is spectacular. One of the prettiest places I've seen thus far. So definitely if you're thinking date and how to let's impress someone, go to Los Feliz. There's tons of great places there.
Okay, awesome. That's so cool. I didn't know that. That's I'm taking notes over here. So
my Instagram is Angela in Los Angeles, and people hit me up all the time. Like, where should I go to dinner today? Like friends that come from New York, where should I go? It's like eating and drinking. It's such a part of a lifestyle, right? Like we don't just buy a house, we buy a home. And with that, we buy a community.
Yeah.
So you have to be very, very comfortable and you have to feel like you belong to that tribe somehow. So I will say that whenever I have a client and they're not sure where they want to live, I encourage them to go and hang out in those areas to figure out what feels like home.
That's good. Yeah. Because kind of brings it back like 2 years ago, or like when the pandemic hit. It was like all of those things were close. It felt like we lost a sense of like, what do I? It was just really strange. I know because I would visit my brother in downtown and everything was closed. It was like, oh no, this is really strange.
Downtown is a very interesting area for sure.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Okay, let's go into Silver Lake. I'm excited to talk about this one because I know this is like the feel of this place is completely different. Even just when I remember just like going, like driving through, like, oh, like it's different here. But like, tell us more about Silver Lake.
I feel like I'm going to venture and say you probably know more about Silver Lake than the other ones. Is that correct?
I've only eaten there like once, so.
You know about it a little bit more. Here's why. All the cool kids hang out in Silver Lake. It is what it is. The Sunset Junction is what they call it. It's where they used to have these really big parties.
Say that again. The Sunset
Junction.
Sorry, my hearing is a little bad. What Sunset Junction?
My very Latino Spanish gets caught off sometimes. It's called Sunset Junction.
Oh, cool.
It's basically 3 blocks of Sunset Boulevard in Silver Lake. That it's where all the businesses are, right? So it's like Black Cat and Bar Stella and Cafe Stella and like all the places that we know are Silver Lake. They're all in that area. And Bar 41, which is all the divers go and drink there. So it's like, it's where the community has agreed that everything happens in Silver Lake. So we call it the Sunset Junction. Before, years and years ago, I want to say like 6 years ago was the last time they had it, but they used to close Sunset Junction, those 3 blocks, and have huge rock parties. No longer doing that, but that sentiment still remains. But yeah, so that's where all the cool kids go, especially the East Coasters. There's a lot of New York there. There's a lot of Jersey there. There's a lot of that like urban feels, right? Like walking around in Williamsburg. Silver Lake definitely has that feeling. So there's a lot of expats there. So I will say that all the cool kids hang out in Silver Lake for sure.
Cool. Okay. I just know it's a cool area. Like that's all. I've only been once.
I don't get invited very often, but I know it's cool.
I just know that's all I really know about it. So I like that term though, Sunset Junction. That's really cool. I didn't.
Yeah. Most people in this side of town know what you're talking about. Let's just meet at the Sunset Junction. You know exactly where you're meeting, and you know exactly where you're going to go hang around. So it's definitely like an area of town that a lot of people collect to go hang out, especially on a Friday night or a Saturday night. It's super walkable. So if you live in Silver Lake, there's chances you probably don't even have a car. Like everyone just walks around. So it's a great place. If you're just moving to LA, specifically from the East Coast, I think you would find that to be very homey, a very homey feeling. And yes, we do think downtown when we think like the center of the city and how to be pedestrian, but it just depends what kind of lifestyle you want to live. I think in Silver Lake, there's a bit more of a community feel. They actually have local legislations that they do not green light stores that have more than like franchises. There are very little to no franchises in Silver Lake at all. It's all mom and pop shops because the community has agreed that they want to support mom and pop shops. So there's that sense of Silver Lake pride that's very, very strong.
Interesting. That I did not know that.
Yeah.
That makes so much more sense.
Yeah, drive around over like there was like a Pollo Loco and that went away. So they're very little.
Sorry, Pollo Loco.
People,
Actually like a Pollo Loco. They're pretty good in terms of the quality. For fast food, I should say.
exactly.
So there's a lot to do in Silver Lake, but let's like talk about the style of the homes and stuff. So all I know is it's expensive, but because there's a lot, it's like a lot to do, high demand. But tell us about
The easiest way of thinking of home prices in that area, we're just discussing those three areas right now, but think of it as Echo Park. That's where you start. You graduate to Silver Lake, then you graduate to Los Feliz. So Los Feliz is, the average home price is above 3 million. So, in Silver Lake, you can get something for 1.2, 1.3 till like 3 million. And then in Echo Park, you can find something, even if it's a townhouse, for $899 to under $1 million. You can. So you think about it like that in terms of graduating in home prices, if you will. And then when we think Silver Lake, there's a bit of everything. There's a lot of modern construction going on the hills. I'm seeing a lot of that lately, which is beautiful because it really it upplays the views. So it's like a lot of flat properties being built on the hill. So it's really beautiful. You definitely have a lot of Spanish. There's still a lot of Spanish moving from Silver Lake into Los Feliz for sure. Some MCM, some mid-century modern as well, which I will say it's one of the most respected architecture styles in all of real estate. They don't make enough. They don't make really as many mid-century modern homes as they used to. And the ones that are doing now really look more Scandinavian IKEA than actually mid-century modern. And folks that really appreciate that kind of architecture are very, very jealous about it and very zealous on it. So it's from the clients I have, I've never met clients that are more serious about architecture than those that are in the mid-century modern style. And I will say I have found some really good gems in Silver Lake.
Yeah, mid-century modern. It's I'm a fan. I like the look. It's clean.
Lines, yeah, clean lines. There's like a modernism, even though it's an old way of designing homes, and there's something very modern about it, maybe because of the clean lines and the beautiful exposed wood and the minimalism, right? That's a very minimalistic style, as opposed to Spanish, where it's like, let me show you my waves and my curves and my beautiful tile work. Mid-century modern relies on really good wood and really good lines.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So just kind of like wrapping things up here, for people that are kind of looking into kind of like diving a little more deeper into this, what's the best way for them to kind of get in contact with you?
Easy. On Instagram, I'm Angela in Los Angeles, just like that, traditional spelling. You can find me as well on my website, Angela in Los Angeles.
Cool.
So pretty easy to find. And I would love to get in contact. So let me know if you guys have any questions at all, or you're looking into real estate. I'm always around.
Yeah. I feel like you have a wealth of knowledge in terms of like places to like go and to eat and to do, and like what kind of where to be even. So
listen, I just want to be your bestie that you can go have a drink with, and then also buy a mid-century home. Right?
There you go. That's so cool. That sounds good. Well, cool. Thanks so much, Angela, again for just like diving into LA culture with us. For everyone out there watching, it is an interesting culture for sure here in LA, but would not have it any other way. So
would not have it any other way. And we would love to hear your comments. Like, I want to hear your comments on all this stuff. So let us know.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. All right, Angela. Till next time. See you.